Fat Joe could be in serious trouble. I remember a couple years back, I was hearing some things about Fat Joe. There was some rumblings about him essaying a girl while they were on tour, and he went and stuck his hand up her, you know what, and she went in the bathroom and went out the window and called the police and brought the police to the hotel room. Right? I remember that situation. Right? And that was all over social media. It was being talked about, and it kind of went away. But this guy, his hype man. His hype man TA, he was the one blowing the whistle on Fat Joe and calling Fat Joe out. Also, Cuban Link was also calling him out, right? So now when we're in the climate of all these people being called out and held accountable for the things that they did in the past, everybody, the floodgates is open now, and now Fat Joe is on the chopping block, and they're coming for him, and they're coming hard, right? So this guy TA is saying that he did over 4,000, he had over 4,000 SCX capades with Fat Joe in the 16 years that they was together, right? He's saying that he was his hype man. Fat Joe didn't pay him. It was a lot of criminal activity going on. Check this out.
And your man Joe just...
Hold up. So basically what he was using you for was to recruit the females.
Absolutely.
Instead of pushing your music.
Absolutely. Always. Everywhere we went.
All right, so what happened?
We're standing in the lobby. Shorty got a short skirt on. Your man Joe takes his whole hand, his whole arm, and throws it up her and grabs her whole jump off, bro. Like, grabs it though, like it aggressively though, like, let me get that. And she jumped and turned around, and the nigga was just looking at her. I was in disbelief. I looked, and she was just like, I'll be back. I gotta go to the bathroom. And I just was like shaking my head. Shorty went in the bathroom. She'd been in there 20 minutes. She never came out. She never came out. Shorty been in the bathroom 20 minutes. So after looking for her, the window was up. So I guess she went through the window, right? We go in the parking lot. We looking for her. I was just like, damn, yo. Shorty's going right to police. I already had the gut feeling. I went to my room. Probably like 30 minutes later, they call my phone. Yo, police coming to your room. I'm like, yeah. They was like, yeah, the girl say that. What's Joe, Shorty, man? If it wasn't for Fat Joe, we wouldn't be in that situation. So the cops came to my room. He's like, yo, Joe's
looking at me. Then we in City Island eating at JP's, and she's sitting right on the side of him. Before one time came out, he looked at me and was like, yo, don't get too big on me. I said, what you talking about? She was right there. She heard it. If she want to keep it real, bro, she will, bro. I know they loyalty is to Joe, but real is real. Truth is truth. The crook. Look what he did to Liza Rios and her 3 little kids. Pump supposed to be his brother. He's a sucker. So if she want to keep it real, she can keep it real, bro. So he said, yo, don't get too big on me. I'm like, nigga hurt my heart, bro. I realized, I'm like, damn, yo, he's not going to let me win, bro. He's not going to let me come out, bro. All them times he's telling me, yo, there's no life outside of Terror Squad. That's what he's talking about.
TA been making posts on his Instagram. He goes under the strategy, right? And he added Fat Joe, Khalid, and Khalid. What happened now? Y'all gonna act like y'all don't know? Diddy, sucker it. Y'all don't want to be a part of that baby oil I see. But don't act like y'all wasn't with him. What happened to brothers? Fat Joe, Nikki was underage when you flew her across state lines and out of the country. So he's really like going in and opening up the floodgates, right? Then he said, damn, homie. Even look like Lil Joey. When you see him, run him out of there. You want 16-year-old Lil Joey? You are banned from being around. You are banned from being around underage girls, man. Man, listen. When y'all see Lil Joey in public, y'all have to chase him out of there. Lil Joey was dating and having ex with a 16-year-old girl named Nikki, aka Chiquita. He had a full-fledged relationship with her for 5 years, right? So now, like a lot of this stuff is coming out. They're exposing a lot of these people. And Fat Joe, listen, I told y'all the industry don't trust a lot of these people. Man, this thing gets real crazy, right? Wait until Market America finds out Lil Joey. You know where this is going. You know, if I'm saying it, I got it, right? Then the strategies, he says, does Market America know they have a blank as their spokesperson, right? Then he started hitting, I guess, some of the CEOs of the company. We was at an event and Fat Joe wouldn't stop. But I would get to that. I would get to that later. So he's just airing out. He's airing out like all of the dirty laundry, right? Then he did another one. He added at Fat Joe. You asked me to do. You asked me, do I take accountability? Yes, I do for watching you mess with underage girls, but I was minding my business and playing my position. At the time, I was young myself, but I didn't ask, was you scared to deal with Chiquita? And what did you say? Stop moving around in the streets like you wasn't messing with underage girls. You're going to continue to get this work, Joe. It's okay. You are blank. Just go register, right? So he's making his business to go after Fat Joe. But there was also people on the street saying that Fat Joe was a rat, that Fat Joe was a snitch, and his name came up in proffer agreements, right? So there was an interview where they was addressing this guy that was the head of the Nasty Boys, a crew out of Hunts Point, Bronx. That was a serious crew back in the 90s and the 2000s, right? And this dude came on there and he said this about Fat Joe.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Jose Lazarus Moyet, aka Rays. This is Demigod. Pleasure to have you here today, Rays. Thanks for the interview.
It's a pleasure speaking with you.
So, what were you convicted of and sentenced to?
I was convicted of racketeering, drug trafficking, and 12 murders. I was charged with being the leader of the Nasty Boy organization in the Hunts Point section of the Bronx. I was sentenced to 14 life sentences plus 205 years.
I have to ask, how authentic is this paperwork on Fat Joe?
I mean, what did you ask me? Did I sit in prison for 30 years and forge paperwork against someone who I don't know, who doesn't know me, and whose paths never crossed? Look, Demigod, there are a lot of people who have never been in the feds, and so they are making comments without understanding anything. About 3 months ago, I was talking with someone who had just came off the streets, and he mentioned the paperwork on Joe. He said that he checked out all the names of the agents and the prosecutor, and they were legit. Now, with that said, why is it that others couldn't do this as well? What people don't know is that that statement comes from a proffer. For those who don't know what a proffer is, it is when you give information to the feds. There are thousands of so-called gangsters running around in the streets who did a proffer, and we would never know this. There were literally hundreds of statements made against me. Many of them I didn't see until years later. Some I
But you also had Cuban Link. Now, Cuban Link was allegedly supposed to have got his face sliced by Fat Joe, right? Inside a restaurant or something, they had some beef after Big Pun died. Because remember, Cuban Link was Big Pun's guy. He wasn't Fat Joe's guy. He was Big Pun. So when Big Pun died, he always said that Fat Joe was jealous of him. Now, I always thought Cuban Link is a bad dude on the mic, right? Cuban brother, man, but the dude is nice on the mic, right? Way better than Fat Joe. And he was saying, he wrote a lot of that stuff. But when Big Pun died, you already know he was when Fat Joe allegedly had did the Liza and Fat Big Pun's son. He wasn't paying him. They're not speaking to him. But he also was beefing with Cuban Link. Now check this out, right? This is what Cuban Link is saying.
TMZ too. TMZ, now we gotta be on point with TMZ. They're gonna diddy you. They're gonna diddy watch. And they got enough evidence to do it. They're gonna do the diddy on them. The FBI already diddied them. Well, he did it himself. He did the bullshit to himself, but they're making them pay. They're holding them accountable. So yeah, you touching little girls, homie. Now we want to know the whole story. We want to know who the chick is. We want to know what happened. Or did you groom her? What age did you met? Because I heard him in the song. In the song, it said she was 16 years old. He did the KRS. Remember KRS had a song back in the days. Told me, but she crazy. The nigga Joe did a song. He had a verse or something. It was like, yeah, she was 16 years old. So I told her, she had to give me. That's grooming. How you gonna do that?
So this guy is relentless, right? He wasn't finished. Your fat friend clearly underestimated me, and I told him I would not go. I would go all the way. This is what the newspaper is going to look like. Wow, is daughter going to be real proud of him? I'm going to tag Jordan, Nike, CNN, the president, and the vice president. Every major outlet will have this. Now think about it. This is just one. The countdown is on. Tell that fat man, be smart. I warned him before, right? So this thing gets real crazy, right? And this guy, to me, it sounds like a shakedown, but he's been around Fat Joe for a very long time to be saying what he's saying. Tell Joe I'm going live to talk about that threesome his wife had. Sheesh, she's a nasty scumbag. You know that's right. Your boss is a sucker, right? Now I'm hearing I heard some stuff about that. The countdown is on. Tell the fat man be smart. I warned him before. Call me, Joe. Joe got it blanked up. I get it. Joe didn't get it yet. I'm the predator. Joe's the prey. Right. So he's really like coming after Joe. And then it gets Fat Joe and them, they responded to some of this stuff, but we'll get to that, right? Blackburn's threatening the unprofessional conduct. Blackburn sent demands March 23rd and April 1st, 2005, falsely claiming Dixon was owed compensation for songwriting and adding baseless allegations of statutory blank, forcible labor, ex-trafficking, and fraud, threatening to file a lawsuit with these false claims and report Cartagena to Homeland Security if he didn't pay, right? Demanded $20 million in a third letter, April 25th, 2005, up from $2.6 million to settle Dixon's claims. Sent late night emails with vague threats, including adding a RICO claim and suing Cartagena's business partners. Falsely claimed to have verified allegations with witnesses, including the allegation minor who denied speaking to him. So this is Fat Joe and his attorney. They're coming back, they're firing back, and they're responding to these allegations, right? And then they this is an image of minor 3 with her friends from high school. The same time she was being trafficked by the defendant. So he's showing pictures of the girl. Man, this thing gets real crazy, right? He's showing pictures of the girl that Fat Joe was supposed to be messing with. Minor Doe 1. Minor Doe 1 is a 16-year-old Dominican girl residing in New York. In exchange for cash, clothing, and payment of her cell phone bill, defendant will get oral acts and actual acts performed on him by Minor Doe 1. One occasion, while driving in New York City, Minor Doe 1 asked the defendant for money to pay for a cell phone. Being notoriously cheap, the defendant claimed to be broke. This upset Minor Doe 1, who began yelling and cursing and screaming. Plaintiff begged defendant to pay Minor's child phone bill, which was less than $100. Right? So they're coming, man. Listen, they're coming at this neck. Minor Doe 2 is a Caucasian female. She is not a United States citizen. The defendant began having actual relationships with Minor Doe 2 when she was 15 years old after a concert overseas. The defendant flew Minor Doe 2 to New York City and Miami and Florida on multiple occasions. Due to Minor Doe's 2 body being adolescent and not fully formed, defendant paid for her to get a Brazilian butt lift. Minor Doe 2 eventually left defendant and is now married to a professional athlete. So this stuff, man, this stuff gets real crazy, right? Minor Doe 3 with her friends from high school. The same time she was being trafficked by defendant. So he's showing all kinds of videos, all kinds of stuff, man. Like I said, this stuff had came out a while back, but now it's resurfacing itself. The Fat Joe could be in serious trouble if this guy can get witnesses, if some of these people can come out against Fat Joe. But I remember when this guy, he brought this stuff out, man. This thing is crazy, man. But I don't know, man. Fat Joe, listen, you got Fat Joe, you got Diddy, you got the R. Kelly situation, you got Tyler Perry, you got Nickelodeon people, you got Harvey Weinstein, the Pizzagate, you got all this stuff, man, that's coming out, man. This is the age where all this stuff is being exposed, and a lot of people dastardly behavior is being called out. We're going into an all-inclusive society, and the old world is being done away with. And a lot of things that a lot of these dudes did in the past to these women, it's being exposed. Now, because a lot of these women be lying, absolutely. But I was from that era. I know it was a lot of stuff that was going on. And there was a lot of women participating, but there was a lot of dudes doing a lot of bad stuff as well. I'm not going to be a hypocrite because I'm not, like I said, I tell the truth. I stand on truth. I stand with God. So I'm going to tell the truth. There was a lot of bad stuff happening to a lot of women back in those days, right? And there was also a lot of women participating and doing a lot of bad stuff too. So there's a balance to everything. But a lot of things are being exposed. As more of this come out, we'll report more of this. If y'all made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.